Kirk Burroughs was like, yo, man, I should have saw, he told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he slapped his mother. He told his mother to stay out of his mofo business. And I told him, man, you ever talk to your mother? You remember that situation? He said, yeah. When you do your mother like that, you don't care about no woman in the street.
So, let's talk about a topic that's got everyone buzzing: the wild relationship between Diddy and his mom. Word on the street is that things are not what they seem. Diddy, the famous rapper and businessman, has always shown his mom, Janice, lots of love in public. But here is where it gets juicy. Rumors say their bond is pretty intense and even a bit strange. Some say she has a strong influence on his life and decisions. People are talking about how this close relationship might be affecting his personal and professional life. Now, before we delve into his allegedly sick relationship with his mother, let's talk briefly about Diddy's childhood.
I started asking questions and getting information on the music industry, because I know music was an important part of my life.
Diddy, also known as Sean Combs, had an interesting childhood that shaped him into the famous person he is today. Born on November 4th, 1969 in Harlem, New York, Diddy had to deal with many challenges early in life. His father, Melvin Combs, was an associate of a notorious gangster and was tragically K.'d when Diddy was just 3 years old. This loss left a big impact on him and his family. Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, worked very hard to provide for him and his sister. She worked as a model and a teacher's assistant to make sure her children had what they needed. Despite the tough circumstances, Diddy's mom always encouraged him to dream big and work hard. Growing up, Diddy moved to Mount Vernon, a neighborhood just outside of New York City. This area had its own set of challenges, but it also offered opportunities. Rumor has it that young Diddy was quite the entrepreneur even as a kid. He started his first business by delivering newspapers and later worked as a busboy at a Mexican restaurant. Here is where it gets interesting. Diddy's work ethic and determination were clear from a young age. He attended a private Catholic school, Mount St. Michael Academy, where he earned the nickname Puffy because he would puff out his chest to show confidence. He was good at sports, especially football, and was also a good student. Diddy's real passion was music. He used to throw parties and DJ at school events. His love for music only grew stronger, and he decided to pursue it as a career. After high school, he went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., but he didn't stay long. He dropped out to follow his dream in the music industry. Diddy started as an intern at Uptown Records in New York. He was taken under the wing of Andre Harrell, the founder of Uptown. Combs showed a lot of talent and quickly became a key player at the label, helping to develop big names like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. People who knew Combs back in his college days would tell you he was famous for throwing huge parties that sometimes had up to 1,000 people attending. Here's where it gets juicy. Usher, the famous singer, once lived with Combs for a year when he was just 13. Usher later described Combs' lifestyle during that time as pretty wild. In 1991, Combs organized an AIDS fundraiser at the City College of New York gym. The event was supposed to be a big success, but it was oversold, and a tragic stampede happened, leading to the death of 9 people.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
Shortly after being fired from Uptown Records in 1993, Combs didn't waste any time. He started his own label, Bad Boy Records, and made a joint venture deal with Arista Records. Combs brought Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G., with him from Uptown. This was a major move, and it paid off big time. Both Wallace and another artist, Craig Mack, started recording for Bad Boy, and soon everyone knew their names. The Notorious B.I.G.'s debut album, Ready to Die, was the label's first major project and a huge success. Around the mid-90s, there was a big rivalry between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop. Combs and the Notorious B.I.G. found themselves in the middle of this feud, with Death Row Records and its artists like Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight often taking shots at them. Combs, now calling himself Puff Daddy, released his debut single, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, which topped the charts for weeks. That year, he also released his first album, No Way Out. The album was a huge hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard 200 and selling 561,000 copies in the first week. One of the biggest songs from the album was I'll Be Missing You, a tribute to the notorious B.I.G., which stayed at #1 on the charts for 11 weeks. Despite all the success, Combs faced criticism for making hip-hop too commercial and using too many guest appearances and samples from old hits. Even with the critics, No Way Out was a massive success and earned Combs several Grammy nominations, winning Best Rap Album. Combs has not just been successful in music, but also in business. Back in 2002, Fortune magazine listed him among the top 40 entrepreneurs under 40. In 2017, Forbes said he earned $130 million, making him the highest-paid entertainer that year. By 2022, his net worth was estimated at a whopping $1 billion.
Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to whatever I want, I have to.
Despite his success, Diddy has faced several lawsuits. Now, let's dive deeper. Diddy has had his share of legal issues, from fights in nightclubs to charges and labor law violations to high-profile lawsuits and allegations of violent cover-ups. It's a tangled web of drama that keeps the headlines buzzing. Back then, things took a wild turn. After Nas's music video Hate Me Now aired on MTV, showing Combs being crucified, he and 2 others stormed into Nas' former manager, Steve Stout's office, and attacked him. Stout sued Combs in June 1999, and Combs ended up paying a hefty $500,000 out-of-court settlement. Originally, Combs was charged with but he pled guilty to and was sentenced to 1 day in an anger management class. Then Combs, his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and his protege rapper Shine were at Club New York in Times Square when erupted. It started because of an argument between Combs and another patron. Combs and Shine were arrested for weapons violence. Combs faced 4 weapons-related charges and was accused of bribing his driver, Wardell Fenderson, to claim ownership of his. After a high-profile trial, Combs was found not guilty on all charges. Shine, however, was convicted on 5 charges and got 10 years in prison. Combs and Lopez split up soon after. Fenderson later sued Combs for emotional damage, and they settled in February 2004, but the details were kept secret. Combs was arrested in Florida for driving with a suspended license. In 2003, the National Labor Committee exposed poor working conditions at factories in Honduras that made Combs's Sean John clothing. Workers were searched, given involuntary pregnancy tests, locked out of bathrooms, forced to work overtime, and paid low wages. Combs launched an investigation and made significant improvements, including better working conditions and allowing a labor union. The same year, Kirk Burroughs sued Combs, claiming he was forced to give up his shares in Bad Boy Records through threats. The case was dismissed in 2006 because too much time had passed. In 2005, DJ Richard Dearlove sued Combs over the name Diddy, which Dearlove had used since 1992. Combs settled out of court, paying $10,000 in damages and over $100,000 in costs, and agreed not to use the name Diddy in the UK. Also in 2005, Combs faced an charge from Michigan TV host Rogelio Mills, but the case was resolved in Combs' favor. In August 2007, Gerard Recknitzer sued Combs for battery, claiming Combs punched him outside a Hollywood nightclub. Combs settled the lawsuit in March 2008 for undisclosed terms. In May 2017, Cindy Ruela, who used to cook for Combs, took him to court in Los Angeles, saying he her and punished her when she complained. They settled the case in February 2019 without saying how much money changed hands. Then, on November 16, 2023, Cassie Ventura, who had been in a long relationship with Combs, accused him of doing terrible things to her. She said he her, sold her for S, and hurt her. She also said he might have blown up her friend Kid Cudi's car. They worked things out the next day, and Cassie dropped the charges. But the trouble didn't stop there. On May 17, 2024, CNN showed a video of Combs hitting Cassie in a hotel back in 2016. This was part of what she talked about in her lawsuit. Two more people came forward on November 23, 2023, saying Combs hurt them too. They said he did bad things to them and even filmed one of the incidents way back in 1990.
In the video obtained by CNN, Diddy, seen in a towel, strikes Cassie, and after dropping to the ground, she is kicked twice from behind. Diddy then attempts to drag her away from the elevator bank.
Then, on December 6, 2023, a woman said Combs her when she was just 17 in 2003. He said it didn't happen. Another person, a music producer, said Combs and attacked him and forced him to do things he didn't want to do. Combs' son and some other people were also named in this lawsuit. The law ordered the person who said Combs her in 2003 to say who she was on March 1, 2024. And on May 13, 2024, some big names got removed from the lawsuit, including the company Combs works for. Things got even more serious on March 25, 2024, when the police raided Combs' places in LA, New York, and Miami. They took computers and other stuff. They even stopped him at the airport and took more of his things. And there's more. On March 27, 2024, someone said Combs paid people for S, and some famous folks went to his parties, though they didn't do anything wrong. Even actor Cuba Gooding Jr. got dragged into this mess. Then, on April 4, 2024, another lawsuit came up. A woman said Combs' son hurt her on a boat in 2022, and Combs helped him cover it up. And just when you think it's over, another person came forward on May 23, 2024, saying Combs hurt them in the 1990s and early 2000s, not once, but 4 times. Well, with all this ill treatment towards women, it's no surprise that Diddy does not have regard for women, because if he could treat his own mother the same, he could do anything to anybody. Jean Deal, who used to work with Diddy, has spilled some shocking secrets about him and his mom, Janice. Jean says that Diddy once his own mother. This news is hard to believe, right? But Jean insists it's true. He even says Diddy cursed at his mom too. Imagine that.
You know, Kirk Burroughs was like, yo, man, he told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he his mother.
People are now wondering if this could explain Diddy's bad behavior towards women. If he can treat his own mom like that, what does it say about him? Jean also mentioned that Janice, Diddy's mom, might have been involved in some shady stuff. There are rumors she used to allegedly exploit young women. That's a serious accusation.
He cussed his mother out. He told his mother to stay out of his mofo business. And I told him, man, you ever talk to your mother? You remember that situation? He said, yeah. When you do your mother like that, you don't care about no woman in the street.
Diddy's relationship with his mom has always been a bit odd. There was even a video of them kissing on the lips that went viral, which made people talk even more. But what really got people talking was that Janice had white nail polish in the video. This might not seem like much, but Cassie's lawsuit mentioned that Diddy liked her to wear white nail polish during their moments. People noticed that Diddy's new girlfriend, Young Miami, also started wearing white nails, fueling more rumors. Some believe Janice still takes part in these freak-off sessions with Diddy. People online think the white nail polish is a sign to others that they are involved in something kinky.
I love you. I love you too.
Aside from the freaky stuff, Janice has also been accused of protecting Diddy and hiding his secrets. Rapper Maze, who was once signed to Diddy's label, has been vocal about how Diddy treated him and other artists badly. Mace claims that Diddy only paid him $20,000 for his time at Bad Boy Records and refused to sell him his publishing rights. Mace also said that Diddy has put most of his assets in his mom's name to protect them. And it doesn't stop there. A video has popped up with Mace, hinting that Janice has proof against Diddy. What kind of proof, you ask? Well, that's the mystery. Diddy has been accused of a lot over the years. Things like exploitation, and even tea. People are trying to figure out why he acts this way. Is it because of his upbringing? Did his mom's behavior rub off on him? More rumors are flying around about Janice's involvement in organizing events where young women were exploited. If this is true, it makes Diddy's actions even more disturbing. Did he learn this behavior from his mom? Diddy's troubles are piling up. He's facing new legal challenges, and these old stories are making people rethink everything about him. He has 4 daughters, and folks are worried about what kind of example he's setting for them.
You're telling me Jade, why did you tell us to buy that?
Because it's really good.
We could have bought the big one.
The big one? Yeah, for $225, baby. I don't think
What?
Diddy has always praised his mom, thanking her in speeches. But now, people are questioning what kind of values she taught him. There's little proof of her modeling career, and whispers say she might have been involved in events that weren't what they seemed. Some say these events were fronts for something much darker. Here's where it gets interesting. There are unverified stories about a serious incident involving a minor at one of these events, which led to it being shut down. Janice wasn't charged, but if these rumors are true, it casts a shadow over Diddy's upbringing. With his daughters growing up, people are worried about the influence he and Janice might have on them. Diddy's twin daughters, Delilah and Jessie, recently turned 17, and some fans have already criticized them for sharing photos online that were seen as too mature. Janice Combs knows a lot about Diddy. She has been by his side through thick and thin. She's seen him rise to fame, and she's been there through his legal troubles. Words on the street say that if law enforcement ever decided to go after Diddy, Janice could become a key player. This is where it gets juicy. Imagine the police or the FBI knocking on Janice's door. They want to ask her questions about Diddy. She might know a lot of things that could help them. This is because Diddy trusts her, and she has always been close to him. If they start asking her about Diddy's personal business or legal issues, she could spill the beans, or at least they hope she might. This could spell big trouble for Diddy. Here is where it gets really interesting. Rumor has it that Janice is very loyal to her son. She would probably never say anything bad about him on purpose. But sometimes people can be pressured to talk. The authorities might try to scare her or offer her deals to get her to share information. They could tell her that if she doesn't talk, she might get into trouble too. This could make things very complicated for Janice and Diddy. Let's think about the consequences. If Janice starts talking to the authorities, even a little bit, it could open up a whole can of worms. Diddy's enemies might use this information to hurt him. His business deals could fall through, and his reputation could take a hit. This could cost him millions of dollars and a lot of respect in the music industry. Here's where it gets scary. Diddy might even face new legal charges if Janice reveals something serious. But why would law enforcement go after Janice in the first place? It's simple. They know that getting to her could be the key to getting to Diddy. She is like the glue that holds a lot of his personal and professional life together. By putting pressure on her, they hope to find a weak spot in Diddy's armor. Now, a lot of fans went crazy saying. One person said, "Looks like she might have introduced him to this behavior and G him to be who he is today." Another person added, "Substitute husband vibes. He has his assets in her name. He will never marry a woman for love because he has been intercepted by his own mother." Did Diddy's mom really force him into these freak-offs? Did she G him into the person he is today? The story is full of shocking and juicy details, but with so much rumor and speculation, it's hard to know what's true. One thing is clear. Diddy's childhood was far from normal, and it may have played a big role in shaping who he is now. The allegations against Diddy and his mom Janice are shocking. If even a part of these rumors is true, it paints a troubling picture of Diddy's past and his treatment of women. As more stories come out, people are left wondering what's real and what's not. The street is buzzing with these revelations, and everyone's waiting to see what will happen next. So where does this leave us? With more questions than answers, it seems. Diddy's family saga is like a never-ending roller coaster ride, full of twists and turns at every corner. But one thing's for sure, the truth always has a way of coming to light, no matter how hard you try to bury it. And with Gene Deal shining a light on Diddy's past, it's only a matter of time before the whole story unfolds.